Hello and a warm welcome, a warm greeting in this TTC course, that is Teacher Training Course, which is organized by Chaitanya Psychology Study Center. It is a very interesting factor, a very interesting thing for me also to discuss some psychological concepts, some psychological phenomena, that how far they are related, how far they have their own application and significance in teaching field. In the sense, psychology and teaching, already these two fields are though they are separate in nature, but still they are complementary to each other. Train the trainer, it is means the term or this particular phenomena, all of us either we might use or we might have heard also. अनेकदा असं होतं की अनेक गोष्टी आपल्याला जरी माहिती असल्या तरी त्या आपल्याला सगळ्यांपर्यंत नेहमीच हे पोहोचवता येत नाही किंवा आपण सगळीचकडे हे पोहोचू शकत नाही. सो इन दॅट पर्टिक्युलर केस अनदर ऑल्टरनेटिव्ह इट कॅन बी दॅट अशा ग्रुप्सपर्यंत, अशा लोकांपर्यंत जर आपण ऍटलिस्ट पोहोचण्याचा प्रयत्न केला की जे अनेकांपर्यंत पोहोचतायत ऑलरेडी, then it will be more effective. And that's why CPSC has organized this particular course, TTC course, Teacher Training Course. And being in the field of psychology, especially counseling and psychotherapy, and even in teaching field as well, so there are means many points which are having their own application and their own importance as well. So now first we will discuss the outline of the course and even the objectives as well. And then we will discuss the need of this particular course, that why this particular course it is important. The outline is for the course syllabi, which is designed for now, that is a basic skills of counseling, 3-stage model that we are going to discuss in detail. And of course, all these 10 points, they are as we are going to study with reference to teaching. स्टुडंटशी डील करताना असेल, or even at the time of as we are discussing with our colleagues, अशा पण काही असे पण काही वेळेस अशा वेळा येतात की जेव्हा आपल्याला we need to interact with even parents. So student, teachers, parents, colleagues, and even our personal self. ह्या 4 लेवलवरती psychological concepts, theories, some models, applications, examples, how far they are related to each other, so that we are going to discuss. And in each and every session, even if it is online, some activities are there, so that we will have some experiential learning. कारण एखादा थॉट, एखादी कन्सेप्ट फक्त हे थेरॉटिकली डिस्कस करण्यापेक्षा जर त्याच्यामध्ये काही ऍक्टिव्हिटीज असतील, इफ वी हॅव सम काइंड ऑफ practical exposure is there, then it appeals us most. So the 3-stage model of counseling and role of teaching. Then frequently we are going to have some personality assessment. In the sense, some standardized psychological tests are there, some standardized psychological questionnaires are there. Having the thought that it will enhance our own understanding. And as a teacher, if we use all these tests with the help of some school counselor or school psychologist, then it will add our understanding about our students. अशा काही टेस्ट आहेत की ज्या 5th 6th 7th 8th 9th 10th स्टँडर्डच्या स्टुडंटसाठी ॲप्लिकेबल आहेत. टू अंडरस्टँड, टू एक्सप्लोर देअर पर्सनॅलिटी or their mental health, exam stress, academic stress is there, even self-concept, how they perceive self and how they perceive others. Especially असे पण काही इश्यूज असतात की जे ॲडॉलसन्सच्या फेजमध्ये खूप इम्पॉर्टंट, खूप असे क्रिटिकल्स आहेत. So with that particular context, if we have some kind of objective data, then it will enhance our knowledge about self and even about our students. In addition to this objective and scientific data, it will add a knowledge to parents as well. पॅरेंट्सच्या अँगलने सुद्धा काही टेस्ट आहेत. फॅमिली ॲटमॉस्फिअर असेस करता येईल का, हा थॉट घेऊन सुद्धा काही ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह स्टँडर्डाइज instruments are there which will help us. The third thing is a JH model for self-exploration. How can we enrich our understanding? How can we explore ourselves, and how far it will be applicable to discuss the same model to the students, especially those who are in 8th 9th 10th standards. स्वतःला आणखीन वेगळ्या पद्धतीनं जर ओळखून घेता आलं तर आणखीन हे नेमकं काय काय ऍड होऊ शकतं त्याच्यामध्ये. आपल्याच काही गोष्टी अशा असतात की ज्या आपल्याला माहिती नसतात, पण आपला जो मित्र असेल, आपले जे टीचर्स असतील, आपले पॅरेंट्स असतील, हे त्यांना माहिती आहे, पण त्यांनी आपल्याशी कदाचित या ना त्या पद्धतीनं or some or the other way, either they may have discussed or they have not discussed so far. So with all these things, with all these means particular combinations, so this part is there, third one. Fourth one is transactional analysis. Even if it is a single concept, but it is an umbrella term, the TA. It covers some more in-depth 6 to 7 sub-concepts. And so it is said that application to ordinary transactions, application to ordinary dialogue, ordinary communication, जे रोजच्या लाईफमध्ये मग ते आपल्या पॅरेंट्स सोबत असेल, or with our friends, or with our colleagues, and even with self. Many concepts are there which have broader application to these particular dialogues. So the term is there, transactional analysis. And with reference to student, teacher, teaching, learning, with colleagues, with parents, all these things we are going to discuss. Then fifth one is REBT, rational emotive behavior therapy, CBT. Together it can be considered as psychoeducation module with reference to teacher training program. How far rational and irrational beliefs are important, how can we understand, how can we identify, and as a teacher, how can we dispute these irrational beliefs which students are having. It can be about their friends, about their exams, about their performance, about their future, about their career, or about their self. Appearance बद्दल सुद्धा काही issues असतात, especially आता प्युबर्टी स्टेज जर आपण कन्सिडर केली, सो त्या फेज मधले जे काही इश्यूज आहेत, मग त्या अँगलनी रॅशनल इरॅशनल बिलीफ्स म्हणजे नेमकं काय, अँड ABCDE मॉडेल, हे मॉडेल स्कूल सेटिंगमध्ये अप्रोप्रिएट आहे का, ऍप्लिकेबल आहे का, असे काही स्टडीज हे झालेले आहेत का, रिलेव्हन्स काय आहे, अँड प्लस विथ द हेल्प ऑफ ऍक्टिव्हिटीज, इवन इफ इट इज ऑनलाईन, इट इज पॉसिबल टू कंडक्ट सम ऍक्टिव्हिटीज. So REBT and CBT, so that we are going to discuss. Then even narrative therapy for students. नेहमीच फक्त लेक्चर दिलं, एक्झाम्पल दिलं आणि म्हणजे स्टुडंट्सला आलं समजलं असं नाही. समटाइम्स it is a skill of a teacher as well to discuss an important thought from the point of view, say for example a story. एखादा एक्झाम्पल आपण एक्सप्लेन कसं करतोय, इलॅबोरेट आपण कसं करतोय किंवा नरेट कसं करतोय, त्याच्यानंतर ओपन एंडेड असे जे काही क्वेश्चन्स आहेत किंवा प्रोबिंग अशा ज्या काही काउन्सिलिंग मधल्या टर्म्स आहेत, त्यांच्या मदतीनं त्या स्टुडंट्सला आपण इन्साइट, स्टुडंट्सला स्वतःचा इन्साइट हा डेव्हलप होतोय का? इज इट पॉसिबल टू डेव्हलप द इन्साइट अबाउट व्हॅल्यूज और प्रिन्सिपल्स, एथिक्स? सो तो सगळा पार्ट आपण डिस्कस करणार आहोत. 8.1 it is nowadays more crucial, most important and even relevant that EQ. And why it is more important than IQ? So it says की हाय IQ जर असेल तर आपल्याला जॉब लवकर चांगला मिळतो. ऍब्सोल्युटली राईट. आणि जर का लो EQ असेल तर लवकर त्या जॉब पासून आपल्याला रेझिग्नेशन द्यावं लागतं, इन द सेन्स तो जॉब आपल्याला सोडावा लागतो किंवा आपल्याला तिथून काढून टाकलं जातं जर लो EQ असेल तर. सो हाय IQ विल गिव्ह यू द जॉब, लो EQ may ask you to resign the job. So why EQ? It is more important nowadays than IQ. Another thing is the most advantage of EQ is it can be developed at any age and any phase of our life. It is not like IQ. IQचं कसं आहे की साधारण वयाच्या एका ठराविक अशा मर्यादेपर्यंत तो वाढतो किंवा डेव्हलप करता येतो किंवा आणखीन जे काही टेक्निकल अशा टर्म्स आहेत ते, पण मग मात्र IQ वाढत नाही. स्किल्स डेव्हलप होऊ शकते नक्की, बट नॉट द IQ. But the same case, it is not there with EQ. EQ, it can be developed at any age and at any phase of our life. Logotherapy, why to teach and why to live? As a teacher, why we have chosen this particular field or profession? What kind of intention or purpose is there? Or is it so की आणखीन दुसरं काही ऑप्शन नव्हतं, BEd, MEd, सेटनेट वगैरे करून आम्ही या फील्डमध्ये आलेलो आहोत, आता आणायचा आहे डिग्री सो अप्लाय करतोय? एक्झॅक्टली काय पर्पज आहे? इफ वी हॅव अ वाय टू लिव्ह फॉर, देन वी कॅन बेअर विथ एनी हाऊ. हे निश्चेचं कोट आहे. इवन इफ इट इज a philosophical approach, but still it has quite a practical significance in day-to-day life. So why to teach and why to live? Logotherapy. And last one is, like as a counselor, as a psychologist, as a psychotherapist. सो या फील्डमध्ये सुद्धा काही सेल्फ लिमिटिंग बिहेवियर, काही सेल्फ लिमिटिंग बिलीव्स असतात, which works as an obstacles, hurdles. The same analogy it is applicable for teacher. जरी आपण रोज शिकवतो, सांगतो, तरीही काही आपलेच बिलीव्स, काही आपलेच चुकीचे किंवा अयोग्य अशा काही ऍक्शन्स असतात की ज्याच्यामुळे अबिलिटी, टॅलेंट, कपॅसिटी अँड पोटेन्शियल स्ट्रेंथ असून सुद्धा आपली म्हणावी तशी प्रगती काही होत नाही. मग ते काय आहे हे समजून घेणं. अँड वन्स वी आर एबल टू अंडरस्टँड द सेल्फ लिमिटिंग बिहेवियर अँड बिलीव्स, देन हाऊ टू वर्क अहेड, हाऊ टू मूव्ह अहेड. Self enhancement, behavior, and beliefs. So, all these things we are going to discuss in this particular course. The entire course, it is based on skills, those skills which are scientific, insightful, and application oriented. सो या कोर्समध्ये आपले जे काही डिस्कशन असेल आणि आपले जे काही ऍक्टिव्हिटी असतील, या फक्त आणि फक्त थेरॉटिकल किंवा फक्त नॉलेज पुरतं आहे असं अजिबात नाही. द ऍप्लिकेशन इट इज देअर. And of course, as a teacher, our first focus and the guideline which we have while teaching is objectives. Objective of this particular course, objective of this particular paper. So the same thing it is there. The objective of this particular TTC course, teacher training course, organized by Chaitanya Psychology Study Center, that is the first one, applied perspective in interacting with students, parents, and even colleagues. While discussing all these 10 important points, and even at the end of the course, we will experience a growth at three levels, that is, personal growth, social growth, and the professional growth. When our growth it is directed at all the three important areas of our life, that is personal, social, and professional, then we can say that yes, it is the actual personality development. So having this particular thought, the course it is designed and the activities are there which are also planned accordingly. Now to start the actual content, already we have discussed syllabus, objectives, and other things, but the need of the course, it is also should be discussed to start with it only. It is a very important quote which is there in Emotional Intelligence book written by Daniel Goleman. The main hope of a nation lies in the proper education of the youth. The proper education means it is not only limited or restricted to the regular subjects, that is languages or math, science, history or geography or even civics also. They are important, essential, but that doesn't mean the complete education. Especially nowadays, some additional factor should be included in the curriculum, and that is psychoeducation or emotional regulation part in education. And why it is so? Is it just that okay, I just belong to this particular psychology field, and so I'm insisting my particular propaganda also? It is not like that. Let's see some important relevance to this particular factor. Yes. Importance of mental health. Importance of our physiological health. We all are quite aware, alert, and educated regarding the signs and symptoms of our body. It can be about fever, cold, cough, or any other thing. Even if we experience a weakness for a day or so, we immediately approach to our medical store or to our family doctor. But unfortunately, even today, this is not the same case with our mood, with our psyche. नेमकं आपल्याला काय वाटतंय? इमोशन्स म्हणजे काय हे आपण डिफाईन करून सांगू शकतो का? आपल्या शरीरात हाडं किती आहे हे आपल्याला माहिती आहे, कारण ते आपण शिकतो स्कूलमध्ये. ॲब्सोल्युटली ओके. बट इमोशन्स आपण किती एक्सपिरियन्स करतो आणि किती एक्सप्रेस करतो, डू वी रिअली नो? इमोशनल लिटरसी, भावनिक दृष्ट्या आपण किती साक्षर आहोत, लिटरेट आहोत? दिस इज द बिगेस्ट क्वेश्चन. Various studies in India and even in abroad, they have highlighted this particular point that before the lockdown, the concern was there about the mental health of students and teachers as well. But during the lockdown, this concern it has rise like anything. ऑनलाईन मोडमध्ये हे इश्यूज आणखीन समोर येत आहेत. म्हणून ज्या मुलांसोबत आपण डील करतोय त्या मुलांचं मानसिक आरोग्याबद्दल आपल्याला निदान माहिती आहे का? आणि समोरच्याचं मानसिक आरोग्याबद्दल जाणीव करून घेताना किंवा माहिती करून घेताना ॲज अ टीचर, how far we are aware and alert about our own mental health. As a teacher, we should know it. Another thing is World Health Organization, since 2012 onwards, they are constantly saying the same thing. They are constantly, they have made a series of predictions having said that from the year 2020, the psychological issues among children, it will rise by almost around 50% all over the world, which already we are experiencing that this prediction which the organization has made around 8 years back, it comes true. Now we have n number of amenities and facilities, everything. आपल्याकडे टेक्नॉलॉजी आहे, खूप सगळे मोड्स आहेत, एव्हरीथिंग इज, बट व्हॉट काइंड ऑफ जनरेशन वी आर प्रोड्युसिंग, व्हॉट काइंड ऑफ जनरेशन वी आर गिव्हिंग, and that is why also this particular course is important. Similar predictions, similar studies, similar evidences has been mentioned by American Psychological Association frequently. And the last point, as it is mentioned here, means APA, American Psychological Association, frequently they publish their a journal called APA Monitor, and in that, so they have said with so ते तो एक अख्खा ज्याला आपण आपल्या मराठीमध्ये म्हणू की अंक काढतात, ते दर 3-4 महिन्यांनी ते इश्यूज असतात, इश्यू 1, 2, 3, 4 or even volume 1, 2, 3, 4 of those particular specific years. So in this year, in that particular issue or volume, so they have said that student well-being is a top concern for teachers now more than ever, with many struggling to find ways to keep students engaged from a distance. And it is not the thing that we are facing right now all of a sudden. During 1971 to 75-76, Dr. Albert Ellis, founder of REBT, Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy, started the school called as the Living School. He had a thought at that time that it will be more appropriate to teach psychoeducation to school-going children in addition to their regular subjects, so that as a teacher, if we are able to give them, if we are able to teach them how to deal, how to perceive some events, how to deal with a person or particular situation also, and even what is rational and what is irrational thinking also, then these students will be more able to face appropriately the stress, tension, anger, anxiety, irritation, and even some other emotional imbalances or emotional disturbances in their later life. Apart from this, therapy, it doesn't mean only and only the treatment, but even as a prevention and even as a personality development or as an enhancement of self. So how to work on ourselves, this aspect can be teach. It is possible to teach all these things, to discuss all these things with the help of some activities to school going children. Having a regular course in psychology, in counseling also, of course, it will be good. But apart from that, some skills in counseling, they are not only they cannot be called as only and only the counseling skills, but some skills should considered as a life skill. काउन्सिलिंगच्या कुठल्याही कोर्समध्ये किंवा कुठल्याही सेशनमध्ये और लेक्चरमध्ये सुरुवातीचा जो भाग डिस्कस होतो तो म्हणजे कम्युनिकेशन. आता हे कम्युनिकेशन म्हणजे लँग्वेज मधले कम्युनिकेशनचे बेसिक्स आपण शिकवतो इतकंच असं नाही. दॅट मीन्स हु इज द सेंडर अँड हु इज द रिसिव्हर, किंवा कोण ग्राहक आहे, संप्रेषक कोण आहे आणि मीडियम किंवा माध्यम काय आहे, अँड डन. But even just for example, recently I got an opportunity to attend the session which was hosted by Dr. B.J. Prashantam sir, the director of CCC, that is Christian Counseling Center of Vellore. In that particular session, he mentioned a very appropriate and beautiful point. In the sense, आता हा पॉईंट का बरं डिस्कस करतोय, सो कॅन टीचर बिकम अ काउन्सिलर विथ दॅट पर्टिक्युलर नोशन आय एम सेइंग दिस. आता कम्युनिकेशनचाच भाग, पण हे ऍप्लिकेशन मध्ये कसं, टॉक टू पीपल इन सच अ वे सो दॅट दे वुड लाईक टू लिसन टू यू, ही सेड. अँड अनदर थिंग इज listen to people in such a way that they would like to talk to you. As a teacher, as a mentor, as a parent, as a colleague, as a friend, can we apply all these things in our day to day practice? Of course, not all the time we may be perfect and appropriate and up to the mark. Even we are also a human being, as a teacher, as a counselor, or as anybody else. Sometimes we may make a mistake in interacting, in communicating, in understanding, in interpreting it. But the more we practice, the more it will increase the frequency, duration, and intensity in interacting with that particular person or with that particular group. Relation. So, in that particular context also, so this particular it is quite important and a need. So already IQ and EQ part, so we have discussed. Next, in continuation with again a teacher and counselor, this particular relationship, Eric Erikson, as he said, that childhood mistrust or childhood some kind of psychological sufferings, in short, can be altered, can be replaced later in life through the companionship of a loving and patient teacher or friend. Western psychologists, they have highlighted, they have studied the role of a teacher can be that as can be considered as a teacher and as a counselor. And that's why this course it's having the linkage, trying to build a bridge between teaching and psychology, that how far these two streams can go hand in hand. And lastly, to say in this particular first aspect of the session is 4 5 years back when I had a discussion with with my teacher, stays in Dharwad, to whom we call a Guruji. So he so he quote at that time he quoted a Sanskrit shlok, and the gist or the meaning of that particular shloka is 5 to 6 areas are there, 5 to 6 professions are there, which in title, in word, they are ended in k letter. In Sanskrit, it called as means kakar. मकार असतात, सो तसे असे ककार असलेले काही शब्द आहेत, असे काही हे प्रोफेशन्स आहेत. या प्रोफेशन्सनी जर थोडासा स्वतःचा विचार करता करता जर इतरांचाही विचार केला, तर त्या सोसायटीचं किंवा त्या पर्टिक्युलर ग्रुपची ओव्हरऑल डेव्हलपमेंट खूप चांगली होईल. असे कोणते कोणते प्रोफेशन्स आहेत, असे ककारमध्ये आहेत. सो ही सेड दॅट फर्स्ट वन इज सेवक, as a servant. Sevak, sadhak. Sadhak means the one who meditate. Sadhak. Then third one is krushak, a farmer. Then vaidyak means a doctor. Even fifth one is sainik, a soldier. And the last field which he mentioned in that particular shlok, that is shikshak. Sevak, sadhak, krushak, सैनिक, वैद्यक अँड शिक्षक. हे 6 प्रोफेशन्स असे आहेत की ह्यांनी अर्थात अगदी प्रॅक्टिकल आहे की त्यांनी स्वतःचा विचार नक्की करावा. तो करता करता थोडंसं एक्सटेंडेड होऊन जर आणखीन इतरांचाही विचार केला, तर त्या ग्रुपचं, त्या पर्टिक्युलर सोसायटीचं ओव्हरऑल डेव्हलपमेंट it will be enhanced like anything. So having this particular thought and having this particular objective and the application perspective, so this course, it has been designed. I'm sure it will be added factor in your personal and professional life as well. Thank you so much. Thank you.